Okay. Hmm. One, I don't think they should actually show any more episodes after this last episode, episode 3. And the creators of this show all need a psych evaluation. Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. And this is my review on The Idol, Season 1. I hope this is the last season. Episode 3. I really hope this is the last episode. And the title of this shit is called Daybreak. Okay? We start off with a pimp named Slickback, aka Tedros, aka the Devil. He wakes Jocelyn up and says, "Let's go shopping." And while Leia is driving the car, and it's a drop top, mind you, convertible, Jocelyn and Tedros are having freaky tales in the background. Okay, not a care in the world that they're out in the public and everyone can see them. So at the actual store that they go to, we see that he is controlling everything. He is Jocelyn's stylist. He is Jocelyn's chef at this point because we also see that he fires Andres, and I'll get into that in a second. He's her producer. He's everything to her. And he threatens anyone that may look at her in a bad way or anyone who is someone who can think on their own, like a Leia, even though Leia, I don't even know if she has a damn brain at this point, just seeing how she responds to everything. So Leia calls the managers while Jocelyn and Tedros are shopping. And she just sounds like a little child, like, I don't know what to do. He's controlling the house. You have to see it. Like, he's like having freaky tales with her in the car. You guys really have to come because I just really don't know what to do. Whew, child. Like, my issue is there is not one strong woman in this show. Okay. And in this climate, you have to have at least one. Destiny, to a certain extent, I thought would be that woman, but it's coming off that she's passive as well. I just don't know what's going on with this show. And, ugh, let me continue. Okay. So while they're shopping, we see there's a scene where they go back to the house. We go cut to a scene where they're in the house. Tedro is pretty much saying no money, money is not an issue, and is saying that Kanye's producer is coming. He tells Leia, and Leia says, okay, well, I have to ask Jocelyn. And he gives her this look, like this demonic look, like I'm running the show. And Leia looks like she's scared, but honestly, that's her face. Every scene we see Leia, she looks scared and confused as hell. So then we also see a scene with Andres, the chef. Now, this is the part that I said, like, at this point, these creators of the show, which I found out The Weeknd is one of the creators of the show. At this point, I'm not even interested in hearing his music. This is just weird. So Andres is asking Jocelyn how the probiotics are working for her. And she lifts up her shirt and she's like, they're working really good. Now, in this scene, if he had just looked at her stomach and Tedros responded the way that he responded, I would totally get it. And they were trying to show how he's just probably over the top and controlling. But honestly, the way that Tedros was touching her stomach, it was provocative. He didn't have to touch it. He didn't have to admire it for so long. It was weird. Okay. So I understood, like, a lot of people in that situation, in that moment, especially a man, if that was a man that was interested in a woman or was with that woman, would be like, dude, back up from my girl. But of course, Tedro does take it too far. Even in that moment, he did not have to slap him. He tells Andres his time is up. He's fired. Andrea says, I have to hear it from Jocelyn. Jocelyn, like a little puppet, says, you gotta go. I'm sorry. Again, all of this happening by episode 3. Okay. We see the first episode, and after that is just downhill from there. Just, okay, writers. Okay, creators. Okay. And meanwhile, we have people who have extraordinary writing talent that can't even get a show, but yet you guys can get a show. And this is the bullshit y'all come up with? Okay. Sure. All right. So back at the store, Jocelyn and Tedros are talking, and Jocelyn calls Tedros gay. And he goes from smiling to all of a sudden just getting really serious. And he's like, I ain't gay. And she's like, you are gay. Next thing you know, a triple X scene happens again that makes no damn sense. And it all of the scenes like this are just so uncomfortable, and they just don't bring anything to the show. It doesn't. So they have this in the dressing room at the store, okay? And then after that's all said and done, they leave. Apparently, Leia thinks that he called paparazzi, which is why he wanted to go to the store, and he wanted to be seen with her, of course. They get back to Jocelyn's house. The managers are there waiting, and another scene that was bullshit. They're talking to Tedros and Jocelyn, and they're asking him questions knowing he's lying. Asking him where he's from. He said he's from LA. They said, oh, really? What part? He's like, Hollywood. And she was like, oh, I'm from Destiny's like, oh, I'm from Hollywood too. What school did you go to? And he's like, oh, I'm not really into school. And she's like, oh, so you dropped out? He's like, yeah. After all of that, they pretty much say, Chime, I think that's his name. He's like, look, I like the song that you did, and I need 3 hits in 2 weeks. And Tedros is like, I got Kanye West's producer. He's like, oh my gosh, you did? Well, this is perfect. Get to work, stay focused. And they walk out like, I like the guy, I like the guy. And then they tell Leia, I like the guy. But then they get their asses in the car and they're like, I think our girl is in trouble. Missed opportunity, because they already knew she was in trouble. They had already said last episode that they did their research on him and how he has no money and how he's from Hawaii. Why wasn't some of that actually told to her in a subtle way? Like, there was a way that they could have said, oh, like you're from, Hollywood, what school? Oh, I didn't really go to school. I dropped out. Okay, well, you dropped out. Well, you still know the name of the school. They should have been able to catch him up on some of the bullshit that he was saying, but they didn't. They just let it ride. Why have that information if you're not going to use it, especially for the damn writing and the purpose of this show? Gosh, man, like, I just don't understand this. And HBO is known for amazing television. You typically don't go wrong with the HBO series. I want to know who greenlight this shit. Who did the green light on this? Who gave the go ahead for this shit? Like, seriously. And I'm almost thinking that maybe there was a different direction, because they did say it was a different direction for this show prior to some other people taking over. Apparently, there was a first director. Her name is Amy. She was actually supposed to direct everything. She left. They don't know why, but then all of a sudden they said it took a turn for the worse. I'm thinking that maybe they saw, and after they saw the final product, that this wasn't good. But at that point, they had put so much money into it, they were going to just put it out there anyways. But this is not of HBO. Like, HBO is known for amazing shows. This is some garbage. I'm shocked that they didn't just say, you know what, we just going to have to cut our losses and we're going to have to throw this away. Because I didn't, ugh. Let me continue, because I will go off on a tangent. Let me continue. So, what the hell else happened in this sorry ass episode? Oh, okay. So after they leave, all right, the managers, another triple X scene happens, okay, by the pool, right in front of Leia, okay? And so in the process of that, we see that the background dancer, the one who's a part of Tedros' cult, she is actually doing a video that is Jocelyn's video. Same guys, same outfit almost, same background. So it is clear that the other manager, whoever she is to Jocelyn, is moving on and replacing Jocelyn with this girl. And after that, we see Isaac singing, and Jocelyn is enjoying the music. And she finds out that everyone in there says that you can't say no to Tedros because saying no to him means you're not reaching, I guess, your highest potential or some bullshit that they said. And so at that point, I thought maybe she was going to start saying, like, what the hell is going on here? But it almost comes off like it turned her on. Because next thing you know, she's saying, okay, well, Isaac kissed such and such, and they do exactly what she said. Weird shit. So, anywho, Xander, I think that's his name, is talking to Tedros. Tedros is damn near about to fire Xander, but Xander says that, he admits he's not doing a good job and he doesn't really like his job. And he says that in his opinion, Jocelyn's album cover should be her picture with the yum yum sauce or love juice sauce on her face. That should be the picture for her album. And of course, crazy ass, stupid ass, freaky ass Tedros is like, you're a genius. That's brilliant. So they have dinner. All of them have dinner and they're all sitting at the table. Notice that Tedros is at the head of the table. And Tedros says to Xander or whatever, X, I'm gonna just call him X. I think his name is Xander. He says, tell Jocelyn what you said earlier. So he says, look, I think your album cover should be the picture of you with the love juices on your face. And so Leia immediately is like, no, you have little girls who look up to you. Absolutely not. And Jocelyn is like, well, they already have seen it and they're already making fun of me, whether it's positive or negative. So why not? She said, maybe I'll use that picture for, and say new music is coming soon. And so Tedros starts to mind F her, and he's, pretty much like saying she doesn't know herself, like, she has to take risk and there's nothing wrong with taking risk. And, she's like, look, I've been in this industry longer than you. I know what I'm doing. And Leia's, finally, when she realizes, I guess Jocelyn is standing up for herself, she was like, exactly. Like, go ahead, Joss. Go ahead, Joss. Tell him. And so he's like, well, you don't have to be rude. And the next thing you know, he goes back and forth to her. This is a long ass, pointless scene. But we get to the point what I guess they really wanted us to see. Tedros gets into her mind about her deep and dark secrets in regards to her mother. Okay. And so she doesn't want to talk about it in front of the table, but he demands that she talks about it in front of the table. And she explains that, her mother was super duper abusive. Now, Xander knows this, Leia knows this. They know it's an uncomfortable topic, but they don't stop it. She continues to talk and say that her mother used to beat her like a dog and how she used to beat her with this hairbrush to the point where she bled. And so, Tedros says, well, you were making good music then. So what is it about that situation that kept you, really focused on your music? So in a nutshell, she says that abuse pretty much kept her motivated. Okay. And so because of that, he says, well, you need to use that trauma as your inspiration and your motivation. Then he says, do you still have the hairbrush? And she's like, yeah. And he says, go get it. Y'all, I shit you not. Like, I don't see, like I said, again, in this climate, I just don't see how this show even made it to the network, because there's not one woman on this show that has any strength that we can root for. It's just a mess. And like I said, I thought Destiny was going to be the one, but she, even while she seems vocal, She's not going into action at all to protect this girl, even though in the last episode, she was like, look, F all of them, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have a job. If I have to stop all of this, I would. She made it seem like she was for her, but how do you see her going down this nonsense with this guy and you pump her up like she's doing the right thing and then leave her house? I just don't understand it. Where are the women here that's protecting the other woman, or where are the strong women on this damn show? Like, what the hell? So we clearly know what happens next. She gets the brush. She gets the hairbrush. And we see Tedros at a fireplace, and we see Xander. And oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. When Leia is about to say something at the dinner table, okay, and because she is at a point where she was like, I need to say something, Tedros says, Leia, you look tired. Isaac, take Leia and take her to bed. She looks tired, like she's a 5-year-old. Leia looks at Jocelyn, and Jocelyn nods, saying it's okay, and she does what she's told. Not her standing up saying F you, you know what I'm saying, what you're saying, this is my friend and you're doing too much. No, her weak ass just does what she's told. So with that, she decides to give Tedros the hairbrush, okay? And he starts to beat her with the hairbrush. And we don't see him actually hitting her with the hairbrush, but we see that she is crying and screaming. Xander is looking at this crying. He's not doing anything. Everybody is just sitting back, allowing this to go on. Then we see that he has her in the tub while he is washing her hair and I guess washing her body. And the next thing you know, he is tending to her, or is out there with her, I guess, on her balcony or whatever. And he looks at her and she looks at him, and she says, thank you for taking care of me. I shit you not. Thank you for taking care of me. You guys, look, I am shocked that there isn't a petition out there to shut this show down. It is ridiculous. So ridiculous. And the fact that one of the creators, I think, is the creator of Euphoria, and Euphoria is like such a hit to where they've been winning Emmys and everything else. How do you go from Euphoria to this? How? How was that even possible? But anywho, you guys let me know what you think about this nonsense. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am definitely curious to see if anyone can tell me why they love this show and why. Now, I have one subscriber that actually says that he likes the show, but I'm curious to hear some other people to see why they actually enjoy this show. And maybe they can give me another complete breakdown that I totally don't understand. But until then, I say this is bullshit and it needs to be burned. The whole thing. Burn the whole thing to the ground. Do not show any more episodes. Actually, just delete this from existence like it never existed. Anywho, I'll see you in my next video. Toodles.